Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be fitting the front discs and pads on the VW Caddy. So it's a 2012 plate VW Caddy, it's my works van. We're going to be fitting some front Paget discs and pads. So here we are, so they're vented discs, not drilled, they're just vented. So these are the vents here, and then pads. So Paget, not top of the range, but not bottom of the range. They're in the middle. Tools you will need. So screwdriver, you're going to want a 21mm on a 1/2 inch. That is quite bent. I don't know why. Well, I do actually. It's a cheap, nasty drive. Anyway, 21mm, and you're going to want a 7mm on Allen key. So I don't know why, but Eurocarpet just sent me the rears as well. So I might do the rears unless I send them back. But yes, let's get started. So I'm going to start off by removing the wheel. You're going to want a 17mm on a impact driver. So now the wheel's off, you can see the brakes. So we're changing these because there's quite a lot of rust build up and the pads are getting low. Advised on the MOT, and you can see there's quite a lot of heat got into this disc as well. So you're going to start off by removing this retainer clip at the front, this one here. So you're going to use a screwdriver. Let's set this camera up. There we go. So I'll grab the screwdriver and gently just under here unclip, and hold your hand so it doesn't spring off and hit you in the face. So we can then move the steering. No, we can't, because the steering lock is on. Right, so we can now move the steering. Make sure the steering lock's off. Just turn it on full lock, like that, and there'll be two caps on the back. It says this one and then this one here. So you want to take them off with a screwdriver. 1, 2, keep them somewhere safe. Then you're going to want to grab your 7mm Allen key and gently crack off the caliper. There's one at the top and one at the bottom. This is quite an easy job, but if you've never done discs and pads before, then it's great to watch this video to give you an just so you know exactly what to do. So it's a very basic job. I mean, even if you're on the driveway at home, jack it up. I'm on a ramp, but same principles. Just means you'll be crouching down a bit more. Let's get this one off. So you can leave them in place as it's loose, or you can fully remove the pins. So sometimes I fully remove them to clean them up anyway. Put them on our tool trolley. Sometimes the caliper will get stuck because the pads might be quite kind of stuck in there. In my case, it's not too bad, but what you can do is get your screwdriver, stick it in between the disc and the caliper and push, which will retract the piston, allowing you to then have more movement. So there we go. So one pad in the back which goes into the piston, you want to press it out so it unhooks, and then the front pad you can get a screwdriver in and just, well, they're quite loose anyway, unhook. Okay, so this is your carrier, this is your disc, and that's your caliper. So the next step, we want to remove this disc. In order to remove the disc, you're going to remove the carrier. As you can see, it's obstruction here. Now, because these are tight, every time I try to push down on this bar, the steering moves. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set the steering onto hard lock. I'm going to take the key out of the ignition. Which will now set the steering on lock. So it's not going to move when I try to undo it. And then I'm going to, oh, they're tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bigger bar, which might help. You get yourself a bigger bar. Make sure you're going anti-clockwise. And you want to, there you go. There's one, and top one. There you go. Luckily these aren't seized. Gonna unwind these. There you have it. There's your carrier. Put that down on our bench. And then there was another tool you need, the T30. So there's this pinch screw holding this disc on. You're then going to want to get a T30, so it's the tool I didn't mention, but it's a Torx, and it's size 30, so that goes onto this bolt here. It's quite loose. Sometimes they get seized in there if no one's kind of done the replacement before, then you'll have to get a hammer and chisel or some heat on there. Now that's off. Sometimes you need a hammer, but in this case, this comes straight off. You can see here the excessive wear on the back, so got quite a big rust build-up on the inner and the outer, and I can feel that the brakes are a little bit warped. So when you're driving down the road at a speed, put your brakes on, you can feel the kind of brakes doing this. So first things first, we're going to measure up, make sure these brakes from Euro are correct. Make sure they're the right size. Wow, miracle, they are. Euro car parts usually have a tendency to get things wrong. So because these discs are coated and they're not covered in oil, we don't need to clean them. So you've got a zinc coating over the top of them. Some brake discs come and they have kind of like a bit of oil around the surface of the disc to stop them rusting. So you won't have to clean these before you put them on. So all good to go. Now, one thing I will say before installing these discs, which a lot of mechanics fail to do so, not all of them, but the surface of this hub here, you can see where all the rust has got to it. So if you used to go and apply that brand new disc with a nice new shiny surface on it, straight onto this hub, you can get a brake judder or brake wobble, because if this isn't clean, then obviously the disc bolted to this isn't going to kind of sit exactly 100% smooth. So what I would suggest, if you've got one, I'm using a hub scrubber here, so it's an attachment on the gun, and basically what it's going to do is going to clean up the surface, just like this. So we're going to get it all clean before we fit. That way it eliminates any possible juddering or brake imbalance, so it's a very, very clean contact, if that makes sense. Right, another tip before you start assembling the carrier, you can see here where the pads sit, you see all this dirt and grime and rust. Always get this in the vise and clean them up. So you want to stick them in this way. If you don't clean them, when you go to put the new pads in, sometimes the pads might not sit very well, or they might not fit in as well as they should, and then that'll cause a bind, or it won't sit properly, it might make a noise. So use a wire brush like this. Clean up both sides. I mean, for the time it takes, what, 2 minutes at the max. You're better off prepping it better, because if you don't, then you're going to have to strip it apart again when the customer comes back and you've got bone-in brakes. You can use a file as well, just to edge off any of the rust. That. So then when you fit your new brakes, you can see here, they're going to fit in a lot smoother. Because you'll be surprised the amount of rust that gets in these gaps. All right. So back to our hub. I'm going to put the disc on. I'm going to line them up. Only goes one way because you've got the little pinch bolt here. So bolt, there it is. I'll put that back in like so. Come round. We're going to fit our carrier. So it only goes on one way, like that. You can find the torque specs for these back carrier bolts, or you can just do them up as tight as you can. Well, not as tight as you can. Be careful using a big bar, but obviously double check that they are tight with a medium sized bar. Don't go over tight because you end up snapping them. So you just want to kind of like put the socket on and you'll get a feel for it, but just make sure they're tight but not over tight. And so if these snap, then you're in for one then. Like I say, any job on any car, you're one bolt away from an absolute nightmare. Alright, so that's that. Right, next we're going to want to fit the brake pads. So, brake pads. Before we do fit the brake pads, we're going to want to retract the piston. So, because the old pads obviously is worn down there quite thin, that's made the piston come out quite far. So you're going to get a set of slip joints and you're going to want to press on the back of the caliper and the front of the piston, and you're going to push the piston back so we can fit the new pads in, because obviously the new pads are a lot thicker, hence why you've got to push back the piston. Okay, piston's gone back nicely, so that's fine. You're then going to want a rear pad. So this one will just click in and make sure it's going the right way. So it fits in like this, friction on the disc, and the clip goes into the piston. So you want to clip them in. And then the outer pad, this one here, you're going to want to apply some grease as well. So without grease, they're going to either squeal or they're not going to have a great contact. So the outside of the pad, I'm going to contact grease here and here. And then you're going to put a smidge of grease as well on the corners, making sure no grease gets on the friction side, because obviously that's where the disc is. That slips in the front. And you want to do the same on this one, but just on the back one you just want to do the sides, because obviously where the spring goes in the piston you don't really need any grease there. Alright. So now we can fit the caliper like that. And these bolts which we took out earlier, just be very careful they don't get cross-threaded when you go back in. So what I would recommend, because sometimes the actual kind of boot inside there is quite stiff, get some WD-40 on there, which I've not got to hand. I've used some white grease instead. There we go. Oh, there you go, WD-40. So just spray them up. It should go in a lot smoother then. There you go. Bit on this one. And you can also clean them up as well if they do get rusty, etc. So yeah, when you put them in, always make sure you use the socket on its own. So try and wind them in, hand wind them in, because if they get cross-threaded, like I say, you're going to be in trouble. So hand wind them in, and then you want to and tighten them with the ratchet. That is pretty much as easy as it gets. If you've got any questions or you're stuck, give us a message in the comments. Make sure that's tight. Good. And then you're going to want also, last but not least, remember this retainer clip. So this retainer clip just stops the caliper from moving like this. If you do leave them off, it's dangerous, and also it's an MOT failure. So you're going to want to put the top in, and then the bottom you're going to want to kind of like hold and wedge round with your fingers. Be careful not to pinch them. That is that. I'm going to give it a little wipe down. Cool. So that's how you fit your front brakes. When you've got the wheel on, you make sure you give it a test drive. Before you do test drive, one thing to be careful of, because the piston is retracted, the first press on the pedal is going to do nothing. So the first press on the pedal, all that's going to achieve is pushing this piston out. But because the piston's so far out, from where we retracted it, the brakes aren't actually going to lock contact with the disc on the first press. So if you decide to get in your car after you've done this job and you go, well, hey, brakes are done, reverse out the workshop, first press, you're going to go straight into the wall, because obviously the piston isn't pushed out enough. So before you do test drive the car, after you've done the brakes, always get in, pump the pedal 3-4 times, wait till it's rock solid, then drive. Because this is rookie error. If you ever do your brakes, make sure you depress that foot pedal before you start driving. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Any questions, like I say, give us a comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one. I forgot to mention, so this inner pad that the brake clip goes into the piston comes with a wear sensor. So it's built in, and it's got a plug on the end. That will clip into the existing wiring. However, this van, when we bought it, the wiring had already been blanked off, so someone cut it, and they've actually, I think maybe the plug had been damaged, so they cut it and then rewired it up. So it leaves no place for this plug to go. But on your Caddy, or whatever van you've got, I suppose Caddy if you're watching this video, once you put the clip in, you're going to want to then wrap this wire around here, and then it basically clips in into this bracket, and then there'll be a plug, so that just clips in, and that will basically, once this pad gets low, and it will wear through, the disc will wear through this wear sensor, it will then ping a light on the dashboard to say brakes are wearing thin. But yeah, this van's not got it, so I thought I'd mention that anyway.